thrilled to have Honorable Minister of Telangana, who is responsible for information technology, electronics and industries. Very atypical minister. And I have had the privilege of interacting with him. And I wanted to find out from him, what has he done to transform himself from the stage of being a professional, globally educated, to now leading such an important portfolio in this state, a startup state. What changes you had to bring about and what motivated you to be in this space?
Well, as I was telling you a bit while ago, I think our country at this point in time, and the countrymen more so, are of a certain expectation or have certain expectations of the political class. Unfortunately, there's a huge disconnect between what the countrymen want and what kind of politicians we have produced. In fact, if you look at us as a country in the last 25 years or so, I think we've transformed ourselves into a large global economy, if I can use the word, because end of the day, today Indians, young Indians more so, right, that is half of our population, has a worldview, has a world exposure, and they are definitely expecting that their politicians also are up to speed with them. So when you talk to them, when you actually imbibe part of that energy, I think it automatically elevates your game, it automatically helps you understand what it is that they want, and therefore you actually start imbibing some of their energy. I was a working professional about 12 years back, and I obviously received some part of my formal education in the United States and then started working there, imbibed some of the good traits from the work culture there, and then when I came back to India, I worked here for a couple of years as well. Eventually, when I moved into my new profession in public life, politics, it did take a bit of time for me to actually get into the groove. But once you start understanding people and their expectations, I think you start delivering. And today, I can say it with a lot of confidence that our Chief Minister has given us an opportunity to make a clean slate beginning by way of leading a new state. And today, we are imbibing the best practices. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're imbibing the best practices from across the world. For example, when it came to ease of doing business, we studied the model of Singapore. When it came to cost and quality of doing business, we tried to look at the United States and what they do. Because our Chief Minister believes in minimum government and maximum governance. He is of a firm belief. He repeats it very, very often. He says, governance is not about seeing a cop every 100 meters. Governance is something that should be felt, not seen or heard. I've lived in the United States for about 8 years. And in those 8 years, I only had to go to a government office once to get my driver's license for obvious reasons. So that's the kind of governance we visualize. That's the kind of growth. That's the kind of evolution that we see coming about in India. And if Telangana has to lead this change, so be it, because we take a lot of pride in calling ourselves a startup state. And we have done some things which are truly path-breaking, and I hope the rest of the country will also follow.